Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting agenda. Meeting, I should say. Welcome everybody in the audience, another big crowd. Anyways, I'd like to begin by asking if there's any disclosure of pecuniary interest. Anybody? None? Okay. We need a mover and a seconder for our approval of the agenda. Right here.
Yep.
Rosalind, okay. All in favor? Carried. Mover and a seconder for the approval of the minutes from the July 25th, 2024 Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting. Councillor Reid, Councillor Kotsifos, all in favor? Carried. Okay, no public input by the looks of it. No delegations or presentations. Any correspondence? Nothing coming out down the chute. Before I begin, I was going to ask if there's any announcements anybody had, any new business, any comments about what's been going on in our area of Parks and Rec? Nobody? I'd like to talk about the recent soccer tournament for a second, and I'll turn it over to Director Grimm. She can give us a little bit more detail, but I know Councillor Stadal was down there, Councillor Reid kept her eye on it for sure, Councillor Kotsifos, and hopefully the rest of the council I know are in and out of there. Director Grimman?
Thank you, through Mr. Chair, to the committee. Yes, we're certainly pleased to announce that we have successfully now hosted the Canada Soccer U15 Toyota Nationals. We had 22 provincial teams here from across the country to compete for both the boys and girls U15 championships. Certainly a successful event, and we keep hearing great news stories come to us from, whether it's players, their family members, coaches, the various officials, the volunteers, and all the community members and the Quinte West Soccer Club that was involved to make this happen. We're certainly very grateful to the community that really wrapped their arms around this event and really provided a great hosting experience. We've received some great feedback from Canada Soccer, who said the fields were some of the greatest conditions they've ever experienced. So, I want to thank the committee for their support of the event, thank the community for their support as well, and hopefully that provides some legacy aspects for soccer here in Quinte West. I know it's only on the uptake, and I'm sure this event really just carries that momentum forward.
Any comments from anybody else about the soccer? Councillor Reid?
It was a fantastic event right from the starting when the ball dropped from the sky. And the children, they're not children, they're young adults, and their parents are so excited, and it was a delight to talk to the individuals, that were the athletes.
Perfect.
And they all wanted me to cheer for their team, so and it was a wonderful event.
Great.
Kudos to the staff that did such an amazing job with the field and organizing everything from start to finish. Great job.
That work began last year, correct? On those fields, getting them ready. So a lot of time. Councillor Stadal?
Yeah, I want to echo the same. I mean, it was a fantastic event, and it was so long. I mean, it was a week. So it was over Thanksgiving weekend. So so many people gave up their time, but it wasn't really like that. It was just a fun time. Everybody enjoyed it. The pop-ups were so busy. People coming and going for all of the different events. And I guess I heard, other communities, their places were full as well. So, I mean, it wasn't just what we did at Quinte West. Everything staff and the volunteer Quinte, and especially got to say, Kelly Scott with the Quinte West Soccer Club, like all of the work and effort that they all put in was amazing. The volunteers, so I, went in as a volunteer and got the preliminary discussion about everything that was going on, and that was a huge insight. And I would highly recommend, that volunteer Quinte, that people sign up for those types of things. They really are. It gives you a full insight to the whole event. But Kudos so much to our staff. The fields looked phenomenal. Everything was clean and looked after right away. And we have to thank somebody else because the weather was great for the whole week. And the week, we didn't get that torrential downpour that people talked about getting. So it was fantastic that the whole event was so well done.
Councillor Kotzfuss.
Thank you. I made my comments at the council meeting, but just to reiterate, just from the hard text, giving the kids a unique experience for the opening ceremonies, to the conditions of the field, to just absolutely everyone involved, all the volunteers, all the city staff. It wasn't just Parks and Rec, although they had a huge hand in it. It was the tourism department. Every single department was involved, and the city was in full swing. And on a lighter note, I got to dust off my French when I encountered some of the teams. So
All right. Mr. Guest?
No, I dropped by for 2 games, and the whole park was just, I'm sorry. Yeah, I stopped by for 2 games during the week, and the park was just full of people. And, yeah, that had to be, a good showcasing of Trenton and Quinte West.
Robin?
The feedback within neighbors that were participating was phenomenal, and everyone was so thankful to the volunteers. I didn't see all of them in action, but it looked like a good field, and it sounds like everyone came together and pulled it off. Lovely.
I was going to ask Councillor Stadal how many chocolate milk she drank. Reed's Dairy was giving out free chocolate milk throughout the whole tournament, and it was great, and they gave me a couple of cases. I took them up to the hospital and places like that, and dished it out there. That was great. Anyways.
And thank you to Councillor Armstrong for dropping off the Cobb spread for the day. Lots of people came in looking for that. So
Right.
Thank you very much for that.
We do that weekly. Okay, items for committee's consideration. Director Grimmon's going to basically take over the show, and so settle back.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. Yes, if anybody gets sick of hearing my voice, feel free to jump in. So yes, I'll start with item 8A on the agenda.
Oh, can I stop you for a minute?
Of course.
We have a new person.
Yes.
Can we do that right off?
I can absolutely get
Let's
to
do
that now.
You-
Yes, thank you.
I'll give
Thank
you the
you for the
privilege.
prompt. Yep. So yes, before we get into item 8 on the agenda, I'd like to introduce Samantha Reed. She is a new member of our team that has joined us just this week on Monday. She is our new special projects coordinator. We're very excited to have her here. We've certainly got a full plate of work for her and some really exciting things that she's going to be involved with. So we've been hard at work already just in the first few days of preparation for our grant submission to the Ministry of Sport for the Breakwall project, which is due on Tuesday of next week. So certainly keeping her busy with that. She's already diving into some policy updates and work related to sport and recreation, more so on our facility booking and cancellation policies. So yeah, certainly excited to have her here, and welcome Samantha to the team.
Great, okay.
Thank you. So just to kick off the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, we are moving along, but moving along not quite at the pace that we had hoped. I think there's definitely certain items that have crept into the work schedule that have pushed us back a little bit, but our consultants are certainly still working very hard for us and with us on this project, and have turned it around quite quickly to produce an initial first draft for us. The consultant has just recently provided that to us, and that will lead us into our next stage of engagement that we are looking to complete before the end of the year. So again, something that I'll be working with our consultant, Samantha, and our communications team on. But to kind of move that forward, we'll be looking to host a public open house, and then also a series of smaller pop-up engagements that we'd like to target, one for each ward. I know when we introduced the Parks and Recreation Master Plan project at the beginning of this committee term, I did kind of pose the question to the committee if at the time there was interest in forming a working group, and maybe just because of the early stages that we were at in that project, there wasn't necessarily anything formalized at that time. I would just like to maybe re-extend that offer or opportunity to the committee. We could certainly use any support now, certainly as we've got a draft, and to support some of those upcoming engagement opportunities. I think, 3 members of the committee would be great for us to work closely with and to take some of these next steps in the project. If we have any willing participants, I would be happy to entertain any conversations, or if that's something just, I know, given that we've got some members not here today, that we could put out after via email and just see if we get any response. But certainly wanted to table that with the committee if there was any interest there.
The engagement, that's going to involve stakeholders too, correct?
Yes, that's correct. So in the original or first stages of engagement, we did, if you'll recall, 3 different surveying opportunities. So we did one specifically for our user groups and stakeholders, one that was geared to staff and council, and then one just a broader public open survey. So when we do the call for public to participate in the public open houses, we would extend that same opportunity to all of the user groups and stakeholders that we have, which includes all of our sports organizations, our facility booking clients. It would include the school boards and all of the organizations that we did engage originally in that first stage.
Would they be separate meetings? For example, the stakeholder groups versus just the general public, or all at once?
The public open house would be all at once. The smaller kind of ward-based pop-ups would be more neighborhood-based or public. I would suggest that the stakeholder or the user groups would be more appropriate for the larger scale public open house.
Anything further to add? Any questions on the survey? Going around the horn here.
Yes, a quick question, which might be a longer question. What was the general tone from the public on the survey? I know I was looking for a little bit of feedback there.
Sure. Through you, Mr. Chair, to Member Fuller. So, yeah, that's a bit of a broad question. The survey was fairly lengthy. It was 10 to 15 minutes commitment from participants. We really heard, I would say, a mixed bag of feedback at this point, that the consultant has digested and has moved forward into some of the feedback that has formed this first draft. So when we get to the next stage of engagement, which is a little bit more targeted to respond to some of the things that we've heard, some of the trends that they've analyzed, and also some of the inventory scan they've done in reference to recreation facilities, sports fields, and the various assets that we've got, not only just in Quinte West, but in the region. That open house opportunity will really start to target some more of those different areas of feedback. So indoor sports facilities, outdoor sports facilities, recreation programming, those types of elements, we will start to break those out in that opportunity, and we will have people provide more specific feedback in those areas. So we, to classify the information, I mean, we heard everything from dog parks to skate parks to, soccer fields and swimming pools, you name it. It was a pretty large sample. We received the greatest response that we have to a city survey recently that we've put out. So that was great. The community is certainly, willing to participate and interested in participating, and I think also interested in some more information about things happening at the neighborhood level. So that was also really great to see. Certainly interest in things being equitably distributed throughout the city, not just centralized in one place. But that's some of the high-level feedback I can just give
Yeah.
off the top of my head.
Yeah, thank you.
Councillor Reid, anything? Councillor Stadal? Yes?
I think when you're asking us if we want to be involved or if you do want members to assist with this, the rollout of the open houses or have us there, if we just have the dates, I think that would help. If we knew what dates you're going to be in different areas, then you'll probably get different members coming.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to Councillor Settle. Yes, I can certainly follow up with the committee with those details just via email, just again, so that I make sure I capture everybody, provide those different dates, as well as what the ask to the committee members would be. We'll certainly have a good contingent of both staff and our consultants available, so this would be kind of an add-on to that, just to support making sure people kind of get around the room and are aware of the different stations and checkpoints of that engagement.
Can I suggest having the meetings in the evening, or is that a problem? Because of the public?
Through Mr. Chair, that's what we were looking for in terms of timing for the public open house, yes. Thank you.
Did I?
The questions on the
Sorry.
Sorry, we got a date, we've got a lot of budget meetings coming up, and so, I know we've got a lot of, and lots of other dates, I'm just wondering, and, I'm not sure, did you have a month or a time frame that you were looking at the open houses? And I guess my other question is, will there be a forum where there'll be a presentation as to what exactly is going on at each of the different open houses, and then let people just ask various questions or take a look at any drawings, et cetera, that might be there.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair, to Councillor Settle. Yes, part of what I would like to do with some of these members that might be willing to participate is review that framework for those public engagement sessions, just again to make sure that the committee is supportive of the approach, and if there's any additional feedback, I'm happy to provide that to the committee. The time frame that we are looking for, the dates that would fall between November 21st and December 12th at this point. So that is the time range when we are looking to nail down the dates. So I could put that out to the committee and make sure that we get commitment from those who are able to attend. Obviously, we wouldn't be looking to conflict that with any existing committee or council meetings.
Okay. Enough? Okay, great. Okay, continuing on, the Tucker's Corner update, court update.
Thank you, through Mr. Chair. My colleague, Director Angelo, is not here this evening, but I know he recently shared an update through council that the sport court upgrades at Tucker's Corners have certainly come a long way and have since been completed. So the addition of a basketball court, we've got pickleball and tennis that are now available at that site. We are just working with our communications and our public works teams to nail down a ribbon cutting date to officially announce that project. So I will keep the committee posted on when that will be, but we are looking at that happening within the next few weeks.
Any questions on that? I have a couple of questions on, I guess, design use. Multi-purpose facility, correct? So you have a basketball court fenced off from a tennis court / pickleball court. Can the basketball court be also used for pickleball or tennis, and vice versa? Could the basketball court be, portables be set up in the tennis courts? Let's say you wanted to run a little tournaments of 3-on-3 or something. Is that possible? Because it's the same surface, right? All three surfaces?
Right, through Mr. Chair, yeah, the spaces and the facilities are meant to be used passively by the community. We, at this point, won't be requiring permitted use of those spaces, so the community will be able to access those at their leisure and take in whatever activities they so choose. We won't have a staff member out there to manage the particular uses, so if somebody wants to play a different activity in the basketball area or the tennis or pickleball, when that court availability is present, then yes, I would suggest that it could be multi-use.
Sure, okay. Is it lit? I can't remember. Ooh.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I will have to verify that with my colleagues in Public Works.
Oh,
Yeah.
mark that on my calendar, I got her.
Yeah. I don't believe that there was new court lighting as part of that project, but I can certainly
remember.
follow up and confirm.
Now, they removed the old surface and put on a whole new asphalt surface and then let it sit for a bit and then put the new covering on, and it's treated and has to cure. Is that
Correct,
the
yes.
process? Okay, that's enough for that. Any other questions on that? Councillor Stadal, Councillor Reid, okay. Okay, also, an update on the Centennial Park Beach Volleyball Court.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. So the Quinte Young Professionals Group still has great intentions of moving forward with their beach volleyball court project for Centennial Park. The location within the park has been worked out with the Public Works team. As well, we worked closely with the Quinte Young Professionals to develop their request for proposal, which they have since put out to market. That closes at the end of this month, so they are hopeful that they receive some successful bids for that project. Then they can award that and move forward to construct that in the spring. Once that tender closes, I can certainly provide the committee with some more updates in terms of what the project timelines might look like. I know also the group was looking to award the contract so then they can also understand what fundraising requirements there are on their group particularly.
And the location is, nothing's changed there.
That's correct.
Any questions on that? Going around the horn?
No.
Councillor Reid, Councillor Stadal. Okay, is there any other new business? Thank you very much for those reports, they're excellent. Any new business anybody wants to bring up? Councillor Stadal? I have one, I guess. At our active transportation meeting, Director Angelo spoke about speed humps being placed throughout Centennial Park, along with Montrose Road next year. They're piloting it, I think. So I know I've been after something in the park because of the kids, and lots of kids every night during the summer and all that. And so that's why I was hoping he was here to maybe give us a little more of an update. I know I've talked to him about the number of speed humps, et cetera, there and also on Montrose Road. But that's, to me, a good safety measure, traffic calming measure, and I think it's a good step. If anybody else has any comments on that? No? Okay, if there's nothing else, I guess, I have, sorry, Councillor Stadal.
This is kind of a carry forward from the previous one. I wanted to thank Parks and Rec for Montrose Park, the removal of the berm or whatever that was. So there's been some cleanup. I just wondered if there was any updates that staff will have on what the next steps are for making the park a bit more usable, or are we just going to wait and see the outcome of the Parks and Rec master plan?
Director Grimm?
Thank you, through Mr. Chair, to Councillor Settle. I don't have anything further to add further than what was updated by Director Angela at the last meeting. Certainly, I'm happy to follow up with him after today, and if there are any updates further to what he provided at the last meeting, we can certainly reach out by email and provide that information.
Does that answer?
Okay. Thank you. I think there'll be more feedback if when you're doing the discussion with the neighbors,
The master plan?
the master plan, yeah.
Okay.
No, that's fine, thank you.
I think that is his thinking also. He didn't want to do some work and then go over it again. If the master plan said, let's make it bigger or smaller, or change it even. So I think that's a smart move. Okay, no other business, no other new business? Ms. Reed? No input? I'm glad I kept you awake. I usually can't do that. It's a pretty good job.
I could mention that this Saturday in Frankfurt, for people that have spare time and would like to assist us, we are starting to put up our Christmas fantasy display. October 26th at the Frankfurt Tourist Park, starting at 9:30. And any youth who are in high school can bring along their paper and we will sign it to give them community hours towards their graduation. So we'd love to have as many people that can come out as possible. It seems early, but we have a lot to do, and we have hunters that like to leave the first 2 weeks of November, so we have to get a start on that, so that's why the early date. So hope to see some people out.
Well, that's great, and it's a great display when it's set up, along with our fantasy lights here. They start after Remembrance Day, I think. This might not be related, but I think it sort of is our Boo Tour. Maybe Councilor, or Director Grimman could expand upon that a bit, since Halloween's around the corner and we don't meet as an ACTEV.
Thank you, through Mr. Chair, to the committee. Yes, we have an initiative that has been running for a number of years, the Halloween Boo Tour. So homes have been able to enter their homes, and then we also ask the community to cast their vote for the spookiest home, the most spirited home, with some prizes as well. So certainly a great community event and an initiative. The voting begins this Friday, voting began on Friday and is open until November 1st. There's information available on our website at quintewest.ca.
Great. Okay. I need 2 for adjournment. Councilor Reid, Rosalind?
Yep.
Meeting adjourned.
Okay.